Zia Makwaba Bim about POG Media so na meda wase said that da aka ho my boy the Wàrns media the Baba Sumo my Ghana e wo POG Media so na ye bo e de Ryan Simma na che say ye de ani enso e de chair parliament ye nsem bia e de speaker enso e de awetudwa e de fa ye ministers a ọmọ nso ẹho bon corruption ẹne ho nsensem na che say kamia kwa say mrane so ne ọmụ di a ẹnam parliament mranti na che say no so etimi ahye de ọmụ ene ehon sensem na we na ode betu dwa no ono nso ekan edi gina so ewo eye de minister ono nsem abetu dwa ye twene sere ne abasa efa illegal mining eye issues ewo sutifi eye mpotemu ho no ma ono amanfo edin komo se eye the speaker of parliament enso e protect no sensem na we na oto aso ekan se mo amon so edi bone in the pastor as investigation ekoso so no ekoso wo ho no ema mo enyo ma adwen se beto ho a ana say ba say from what you makujina quarter or no the speaker no ono so begina na so be hye this ankofuku no be hwe na emra no ene o media na just say all kan na na say all kan e de achi Afény0 marking ene the former government enkofo a almost bon corruption a almost under investigation no.
Yesterday, we're gonna show you exactly what happened and why he's a subject of investigation. He said this after the speaker condemned the alleged attack and denied claims that Parliament is shielding lawmakers from scrutiny. Let's hear from Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagman earlier today on this matter. Take a look.
When we commenced this meeting on the 21st of October 2025, I had cause to remind members about the need for comportment and my intention to ensure strict compliance with the 1992 Constitution and the standing orders of Parliament. While honorable members are granted severe and several privileges and immunities, which serve as procedural guards, in fact safeguards. These are intended to assist members to undertake their duties and not expected to be a basis for members to be shielded from the effect of alleged unlawful actions. The report of attacks on a team from the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, a task force which we all knew has been established to combat illegal mining activities in the country, is most worrying. Also worrying is the fact that the attack was allegedly incited by one of our own, the Member of Parliament for Asitufi North constituency, to provide all the needed support to the investigation by the Ghana Police Service within the framework of the 1992 Constitution, the laws of this country, and the standing orders of the House. I am made to understand that the member has voluntarily submitted himself to a criminal investigation department of Ghana Police to assist in the investigation, as many members have done in other cases.
Well, so that's the speaker there, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened earlier today in court with respect to this matter. But the majority leader, Mahama, also had this to say about this particular issue regarding the Member of Parliament and he appearing before the CID and eventually being sent to court. This is what Mahama said in Parliament earlier today.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I listened to you carefully, and I thought what I heard was a formal communication on the question of the privileges of members of Parliament. And I am hoping that our brief comments would focus on the question of privileges. I think what I heard you say is that you will not shield any member of this House when they are alleged to have committed offenses and the law enforcement agencies are seeking to investigate and establish whether indeed a crime has been committed for the purposes of being prosecuted or held accountable in any other form, shape, or manner. And you zeroed in on the specific instance of the alleged attack on the anti-Galamsey task force. We all heard in the media that there was an attack on an anti-Galamsey task force in Esutufi South, and I later got some indication that a member on this side of the House is alleged to have instigated some community members to resist the work of the task force. Mr. Speaker, let me indicate that yesterday I got a call from the Minister for the Interior, Honorable Muntaka, that the IGP needed the member for interrogation. I invited the member, he came to my office, and I was trying to reach Muntaka, I couldn't reach him, so ultimately I had to ask the member to go. If I reach Muntaka, I will call him back. Subsequently, Honorable Muntaka called me back. He was in a meeting when I was calling him. And I told him that I had invited the MP. He was ready to come see whoever he should see. But because we did not hear from him, I had dismissed him. So we scheduled that this morning the member should be sent to the CID headquarters to meet with one of the deputy CID directors for processing. And so this morning, he went with our majority chief whip and his lawyer. They received him at CID headquarters, took him through the processes, and I received a call not quite long ago that he has been taken to court, and as we speak, he is actually in court being arraigned. And so let me also indicate that as members of parliament, we do not consider ourselves being above the law.
So that's Mahama Yarga there. The minority leader, Alexander Afény0 also said something about this particular issue, especially on the back of the information that this member of parliament in question did indeed, according to the speaker, voluntarily make himself available to the CID after the invitation yesterday. He was arraigned before court. But this is what Alexander Afény0 said on the floor of parliament as well on this.
Mr. Speaker, indeed, democracy provides that the actors must have an opportunity to do politics, share ideas, and have their views, disagree and agree. It is, however, part of democracy also for the core issues of national discourse to be agreed upon by the active stakeholders in this process. Mr. Speaker, the matter you've just raised, Galamsey, is one thing that, for the want of a better word, I must say that we as political leaders, active stakeholders of this democracy, have failed. And I say so without mincing words. we must, as political actors, know that there are matters that we have to agree upon and nib it in the bud. My recent recollection of this matter dates me back to 2015 as a young member of the Finance Committee. Honorable Setepe, Minister of Finance, as he then was, appeared before us and lamented how Galamsey was affecting cocoa production.
That's Alexander Apanyomak in there. You see a crowd of people, I mean, young people who thronged this location, attacked this 9 months officer. We're going to put it on the screen right now. And I'm doing this just to put in the context that even though we see a crowd, there are 4 persons who are standing trial for this particular incident, what you're seeing on the screen right now, for now, at least, from what we do know on the face of what happened in court earlier today. These are the 4 individuals we're talking about. These accused persons, the Member of Parliament for the Esotifi North Constituency, Ebenezer.
Like POG Media, share shop job online. As I own subscribe to a POG political media as well. ND and go so a job for subscription. Now also wash share no for so and so etimiya cabin also who the echo and the air banina or my Ghana political space. Now share. There's one subscribe here job for subscription. Or slide into the comment section or now also waiting me adding como. And the POG Media. You know to say, the Speaker of Parliament and the right now, and the also or the bear no, yes, so bear yes, sir. So could deep on be Nasa Obanas and Brano, and so to show Nasa Basia do Kuchina Kota, Sam Brano. And also meet me up was Sam Brano and show the ministers no. Now our share, not just say a year the judiciary system no, and so Nessa ministers and so Eddie said it and said Fata.
Kwekuado is one of the accused persons. The others, Zakaria Yakubu, who is at large, Alex, also at large, and others, and you can understand why. The others also at large. But there's this video evidence, video that has gone viral, video that we've been showing since yesterday, also captures clearly the faces of some of the marauding young people who took the law into their own hands, vandalized the vehicle, and attacked these 9 months officials in this particular area within the constituency. So that's for the police, CID, to analyze this video and identify the faces, to fill up the names as we're seeing with the at large, and the others that are at large. But these are the specifics of the hearing earlier today. In fact, the prosecution requested that the Member of Parliament be remanded for allegedly interfering with the investigation, or in fact, that because he could interfere with investigations in this particular issue. Now, even though this particular request was made by the prosecution, the lawyers for the Member of Parliament urged the court to grant him bail. That's what was done today. The courts indeed did hear that plea, and the bail was granted with these conditions. I'm going to put it on the screen. 150,000 cedis with one surety to be justified. The Member of Parliament is barred from leaving the jurisdiction, that's the Greater Accra region, to any part of the country without prior notice to the investigator. So that's one other condition for this bail. If he has to even go outside of the Greater Accra region, he has to notify the investigator. And that will be subject to either being allowed or otherwise. He's also expected to report once every 2 weeks to the investigator. In this case, the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service. The case has been adjourned to December 1, 2025, December 1. And we heard the members of Parliament talk about this and how the Parliament itself, the Speaker says he will not shield anyone. Let's stay in court a bit further because the Chairman Wontumi was in court. This matter as well what came up in court earlier today. Let's stay a bit further in court earlier today. And Bernard Ntwe-Boesiako, that is the Ashanti Regional Chair of the New Patriotic Party, Chairman Wontemi's lawyers, they are crying foul as the charges against Akonta Mining's general manager have been dropped after he agreed to testify against their client. Now, we'll hear a bit more on this, but this is what happened earlier in court today. As we do know, yesterday, the Attorney General dropped the charges against the fourth accused in this case, that is the general manager of Akonta Mining, but the lawyers for the MPP Ashanti Regional Chair, Bernard Ntwe-Boesiako, also known as Chairman Wontemi, are disappointed that the Attorney General dropped the charges against the general manager of Akonta Mining after he offered to testify against their client. That's Chairman Wontemi, Edward Kwaku, now the former fourth accused person, and Wontemi were facing multiple illegal mining charges until the Attorney General withdrew the charges against him. And the Apiakubi is lawyer for Chairman Wontemi. He spoke to my colleague and our legal affairs correspondent, Lord Edwasari, together with some other journalists earlier today in court on their position. Take a look.
Attorney General, with all the materials available to him, all the resources available to him, including human personnel, if it's just for him to only rely on a former accused person to prosecute a matter against one of the accused persons or some of the accused persons, and he thinks that justice may not be undermined, that is his decision. The way that the Attorney General appears to be poaching his own accused persons suggests that there is intent to undermine the cause of justice. We will resist your princess.
That's Andy Apiakubi there. He's joining us right now on Zoom, but the Zoom connection not too clear. So Andy Apiakubi is lawyer or lead counsel for Chairman Wontemi. Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Ghana Tonight. So I hear you speak, but what exactly has the Attorney General done wrong in deciding to drop the charges against this fourth accused, the general manager of your client's company, because he has agreed to now serve as prosecution witness? What has the Attorney General done wrong exactly?
Well, the Attorney General, being the Minister of Justice, has a mandate to ensure fair trial at all times. And the Attorney General himself poaching his own accused person to be his witness means that there is some motivation in encouraging the accused person to rather turn a witness. If that is the case, then where is the guarantee that his evidence will be credible? Because he is motivated by something, either by threats or by security of absence of prosecution or pecuniary consideration. Either way, it is an abuse of the system and the possibility of the witness also bringing out falsehood in his attempt to fulfill the expectations of the Attorney General. These are the concerns we are raising. And in any case, what will be the weight of that evidence when we have punctured his lines of integrity?
I mean, but why do you call this development an abuse of the system and the Attorney General poaching witnesses? I mean, is it to say that the fourth accused, the general manager of Akonta Mining, did not voluntarily agree to be prosecution witness? Was he coerced to do so?
I am privy to the conversation between the Attorney General and he's a fourth accused person. And it was a back and forth situation with other people also even being engaged to influence him into taking that position. And again, the threat of him going to jail was always laid at him that if he didn't join the Attorney General as a prosecution witness, he was going to go to jail. That was the threat that was being given to him, and obviously he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to mount a defense, for which reason he might be convicted and sent to jail, and for that reason he wants to avoid that and then do the Attorney General's bidding. But it's a very dangerous precedent because it's an open invitation to accused persons who would have collaborated or abetted or been involved in crime to always run to Attorney General and seek to be his witness whilst giving out evidence that may not necessarily be wholesome.
I see, but well, we're not privy to the said conversation that you say you are privy to between the Attorney General and the fourth accused now, who is not agreed to be prosecution witness. But even beyond that, is the Attorney General not allowed to employ all legally allowable strategies to, as it were, get to confirm and to prove beyond reasonable doubt the accusations against your client, and that including getting some accused persons to be prosecution witnesses? Is that not legally allowed? What has he done wrong? I mean, because I read Act 30, and that's quite clear, is it not?
Yeah, it is true that under the Act 30, there is that dispensation available to the Attorney General. But again, we have also superior case law that suggests that the evidence of such a witness is not binding on other accused persons. There's also case law to suggest that. So when we get to that position, we'll prefer all such case law in protest against the use of the accused person, and also make the court.
Medasi so kame hona ebo Edward Media say POG Media the about Ghana authentic political updates and the headlines are a POG personal sabeti akabi also who the echo and the urban na e my Ghana political space. Na mention some subscribers still are and the no book also have job subscription na wa share no for so ensa so it make Media ni bi no so who the echo and the urban. But me just slide into the comment section no waiting komo e the Media. But that's it so jibre e my POG message here.